Welcome to It Can Get Better Than This. I'm Heather Hodge.
And I'm Dr. Cindy Byler. And today we're going to talk about managing your emotions.
Oh, good.
Yeah, so this kind of plays in some with conflict resolution and communication skills that we've talked about before.
Yeah, and probably everything else too, really.
Yes, because this affects not just your relationships at home with your kids and your spouse. Did I say? Yeah, kids and your spouse, but also affects like your friends, your extended family.
Your work environment.
Yes, like how you talk to your bosses. So,
Mm-hmm.
how you function through the day. So this is something that we will probably continually put in episodes so that because a lot of people have struggles managing their emotions.
Oh, yeah. There have been plenty of books. If anything with mental health, it's been about managing your emotions.
Yes. Yeah. And there's so much that goes on in a day, I think even more than ever before with the 24-hour news cycle. So we know things going on all over the world.
Yeah.
The digital social media coming out. There's
Right.
so much more that impacts our worlds than ever before. And I'm not sure what we were designed to do, but that's beside the point. So, if you want to improve your relationships, if you want to have more stability in your relationships and have more fun in your relationships, then it's really important to learn how to manage your emotions on the daily. So, how you communicate is as important as what you communicate. So, let's talk about three things to help manage emotions. Number one is when a person is volatile, even if it's only every so often, there is limited to no safety in the relationship. So, why do people go to anger first?
Well, and when I was in therapy, that's one of the things they talked about
Hmm.
was that anger feels like an emotion, but it's not an emotion. It's a mask for an underlying, more
Yes.
complicated emotion.
Yeah.
It's a it's like the tip of the iceberg is anger, and then underneath the whole rest of the iceberg are all the more complicated feelings that we might not even recognize at first,
Right.
until we've really delved into what's going on underneath there.
Right. Yeah. And anger is an easy emotion to have
Yeah.
because it is like it can mask the other emotions, which are more difficult. So, if I'm sad or hurt, I'd rather be angry because it covers all that up.
Yeah.
It feels like it gives me power.
I was gonna say anger feels powerful when you feel powerless
Yeah.
too.
Yes. There's a payoff to it because it's easier and it doesn't require much from you.
Right.
Um, and there is a release of endorphins when you let off steam. So there's a release to it when you throw it all out there, when you let it go,
Mm-hmm.
let your anger go. But the problem is it causes others that you say that you want close to in your life to start pulling away and lose trust and not want to be close to you.
Yeah.
It makes a lot of sense. And I've seen parents do this with their kids too.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't understand why their teens or young adults or even their younger children don't want to be with them as they get older and they push against what their parents want. It's because there's no safety, that it's very difficult to manage your emotions with a kid,
Yeah.
as we know very well.
Oh yeah.
So, being able to manage your emotions, even under the pressure, which takes a lot of work, takes a whole lot of self work to do, can help build that relationship with your kid
Mm.
and with your teen. I guess you're 30 and you're still my kid.
Yeah. So when you're already on the other side, say you're past that now, what are some things that we can do after that moment has happened? Say it's too late, I've already yelled at somebody, or I've already thrown something, or whatever.
Well, definitely calm down as quickly as possible
Okay.
and get self regulated because you're not going to be able to help the other person if they're now not regulated anymore. And we'll talk about that in a minute. And apologize quickly.
Okay.
Mommy screwed up. Daddy screwed up. Or I'm sorry I screwed up if it's an adult. That's not your
Right.
kid.
So this is also not the time for the apology that says, I'm sorry, but you shouldn't have done this,
Oh
this,
my
this, and
gosh.
this.
Yes. Right.
Correction. I feel like correction and apology needs to be two separate moments and with a
Yes.
really firm divide.
Yes. Yeah.
But um
And definitely the correction after everything has calmed down.
yeah.
Because if you've lost it and your kid has lost it, there's not a lot of prefrontal cortex activity going on.
Yeah.
Now they're in fight, flight, or freeze mode
Yeah.
or fawn, and all of their chemicals are not most of the chemicals are not going to where they can think and logically reason things out. It's all emotions and instinct.
Yeah.
So you're not going to get a lot of understanding and it processing through the brain the way you want it to, so that there's a lasting change.
I think the temptation in those moments too is that um you think that the kid is going to feel like they won if
Hmm.
you apologize and don't correct
Oh,
them.
that's a good point.
And I think it's important to realize like they're not, even if they were doing that before, whether it's a win or lose thing, if you've lost it, it's not about winning or losing anymore. You're
Yes.
taking them, you're taking yourself out of the game by saying, Mommy's sorry. She
Right.
shouldn't have yelled. Even when we get frustrated, it's not okay to yell or it's not okay to throw things or
Yeah.
slam
It's
your hand
actually a
on the
good
wall or
example.
whatever. Yeah.
It's a good example to show your kids, okay, I screwed up
Yeah. And
and
maybe,
this is how you make it right.
and then maybe coming back to it like 10, 15 minutes later and
Hmm.
saying, listen, you were throwing things or you were pushing your brother or whatever. That's not okay to do.
Right.
Or you were whining or whatever it is.
Yeah.
You still can't do that.
Right.
Mommy's sorry that she reacted like that still, but you can't.
Well, it can also be a teaching moment.
Yeah.
So I know you were really angry when you threw the plate. Mommy was really angry when she lost her cool. So this is what I'm going to do when I get really angry. And I think you should do the same thing and we can work on this together
Yeah.
and teach them, like, sometimes it's good to go in timeout. Put yourself in timeout and do your deep breathing and just get your body calmed down and teach them how to have a little timeout.
Yeah.
I did that with one of my kids, and when he was 12 or 13, maybe a little older, of course, it was Christmas Day, and I was ready to open presents.
Yeah.
And my crazy kids never got up early in the mornings to open presents. And I'm like, 6 o'clock in the morning, like, come on, let's go. But now we have to eat breakfast first. And then
We
we
were
get done with
hungry.
we get done with breakfast, but presents are more important.
Oh no.
I do understand. But so it's time to open presents, and this child says, I need a timeout, and goes to their room
Mhm.
for about 10 minutes. I'm like dying inside. Like, are you kidding me? But at that age, I had taught them to put them in timeout so much to just calm down before they got overstimulated,
Yeah.
and nothing was going wrong. It's just there's a lot of stimulation
Oh
at the
yeah.
holidays. So
Christmas especially is so big.
yeah, so
And
if you teach them early, they will learn how to self-regulate and put themselves in their own timeouts, even if they can't walk away from the situation. So it's a great
yeah,
teaching moment, is my point.
that's one of the things that I've struggled with, but I've been trying to be really big about is that timeout's not a punishment.
Yes,
It's a signal that we need, or it's a tool when we have signals that we're dysregulated.
yes,
Timeout is like I can't yell as much as I want to be like you need to go to timeout and use it against her because I know she doesn't want to. I need to go. I think it's time for a timeout.
yes, yeah. It's a great discipline tool.
Yeah,
So because discipline isn't like punishment, discipline is to teach them how to do it better.
right. It's healthy boundaries,
Yes,
really.
and yeah,
And
teaching timeout is great, especially for managing emotions.
yeah. Now they have tools that are shared more with the public, like, and I mean, I think they've helped adults too, like emotion charts
Hmm.
and mirrors too.
Yeah,
And, where are you at right now? Which one are you feeling right now? And can you point to it and that kind of thing?
right.
We do a timer
Oh,
and she watches the timer go down, like the amount of time running out. And I did a fun sound at the end. I did a duck sound
oh,
at
that's
the end,
funny.
and I'm like, you can get up when the duck quacks,
Right.
and that's her favorite. Oh, duck, duck, oh, duck, duck. Yeah, duck, duck.
Right. Okay, so that was number one. So number two is it is not healthy for our brains when we come unhinged. So what happens is that we're releasing all the negative emotions, but it causes our stress levels to escalate to unhealthy levels.
Mm.
So it's releasing chemicals that are unhealthy through your whole body, and raises your blood pressure, raises your cortisol levels to toxic levels. It can cause headaches. It can weaken your immune system. And the more you allow your emotions to rule you, the worse these things wreak havoc on your body.
So I think there's some confusion because a lot of people's tendency is to pent that anger up until it's at an uncontrollable rate.
Right.
So by the time they snap,
It's a
they're
it's
letting it
it's a
go, and
volcano.
it's like
Yeah.
it feels good to let go of something. So maybe there's a lot of pre-work that needs to go into. If you're a
Yeah.
snapper, then there's a lot of pre-work that needs to go into before you're angry,
Right.
so that when you're letting it go, you're not letting it go in an unhinged way. It's
Yeah.
in a disciplined,
Right.
or you've had the pre-discipline set and laid before you to be able to do it.
Yeah. Well, and with adults or even teenagers, it's good to talk about things when they happen rather than I'll deal with it later or I don't want to deal with this and just you're avoiding conflict. You're just avoiding a huge conflict that's going to be out of control most of the time or a complete like withdrawal so that
Mm-hmm.
you're not dealing with it at all, but now you're not even there's no relationship anymore
Yeah.
or not a good relationship anymore. So, yeah, dealing with it as it goes and then with little kids recognizing what you're feeling while the kid is coming unhinged and dealing with it. And if you have to take a time out and you can do it and your child is safe,
Yeah.
taking a time out really helps to just calm down and then get back into the fray and continually teaching your kid how to deal with their emotions so that they don't continue to do that.
Gotcha. Okay.
So we talked about neural pathways in a couple of our episodes now. And with neural pathways, we're laying down we have that web in our brain and we're laying down a path that our behaviors, our emotions take when something happens. So the more that we lose our cool and we don't manage our emotions, the deeper, stronger, thicker we're laying down those neural pathways in our brain. So it wires our brain so that that is already an easy default. But when we lay the neural pathways down, it's just a habit.
Yeah.
So if you find that most of us know somebody that it's so easy to trigger their anger like all the time because they've done it so long that that's just an easy default already, but they've already laid so many neural pathways down um, that it's really difficult to manage against that.
Yeah. That goes back to the stretchy variant episode in season 1 of how to
Yes.
change those.
Yes. So, and it's not your fault that you have triggers,
No.
but it is your responsibility to manage them, to handle them.
Yeah.
And I tell people, like, it's a button that people can press. Let's
Hmm.
figure out how to dismantle that button so that people can't press it, especially the ones that know your buttons and doing it on purpose.
Or if they press it, it doesn't do anything.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's get that dismantled. So number 3 is in like manner, it's not healthy for the person who is experiencing anger because we have mirror neurons on the side of our head, and we actually what they do is help us mirror other people's emotions.
Hmm.
So when somebody's coming unhinged, our defense mechanisms go up, our cortisol and adrenaline levels go up, and they have the same repercussions in their body that the person becoming unhinged has. So their blood pressure goes up, they have headaches, it compromises the immune system. They're mirroring exactly the same thing that you're feeling. They might also be feeling, while you feel power, they might be feeling fear and vulnerable because they don't know what this is going to look like.
Hmm.
Like, where's this going to end? And if they have their own things with the person that's becoming unhinged or people in their past or recent past,
It could be amping them up.
it could be amping them up and putting them in the fight, flight, freeze, or fawn mode. And like, that's not good for them at all.
Yeah.
And strong negative emotions rewire their brain too. And for children, that's especially, it's not good for any of us, but it's especially not good for children because their brains and their neural pathways are just forming.
They're fresh. Yeah.
Yeah. So you're got to think about how am I rewiring my kid's brain because I can't manage my own emotions.
Mm. Yeah.
And that's a heavy point, but
No, it's true
we need to
though.
think about these things so that our kids can be as healthy as possible
Yeah.
when as they get to be teenagers and young adults. We want them to be healthy individuals.
Yeah. The other side of it, on the blowing up side of it, is a lot of times those people tend to get together with people who are the opposite of them,
Mhm.
but it also means that they have high defense mechanisms as well.
Yes. Yeah,
And
that's true.
as you're blowing up, they're not listening. A lot of times they're just silently building the wall
Right.
to block you out so that they don't feel like they could get hurt,
Right. Right. That's true.
which just makes the other person angry, and then it's a big vicious cycle, and one of you's isolated in a big tower and the other one's just blowing up like a volcano.
Right. That does not build a good relationship, people.
No. and it makes it a lot harder to actually resolve the conflict.
Yes.
Whereas like an argument that could have been 10, 15 minutes turns into hours.
Right. Yes. And that's why it's so important to manage your emotions, is because you want to have healthy conversations and work things out.
Yeah.
And if you're just going at each other, you're not doing that. Or you're doing that, you're going crazy at each other and dissolving the trust and, tearing down the relationship. And then you want to go back and fix it. But there's all these emotions in both of you about what just happened.
Yeah.
And that doesn't build trust. It doesn't build a strong relationship.
I think that's why education on things like conflict resolution is so important too,
Yes.
because, you know, 80% of the time people have that heart of, I just want to get this fixed.
Right.
Especially in a relationship, you fell in love with that person for a reason, you're friends with that person for a
Mm-hmm.
reason, or your family with them, and you want innately you want to have a good relationship and a positive relationship. And if this is something that gets in your way and the other person is like being defensive and like throwing little things
Mm-hmm.
at you and triggering you bigger, things like conflict resolution are it's education that's designed to help you de-escalate and move forward.
Yes. And sometimes in a relationship, it takes one person to start working on that.
Yeah.
And many times the other person will work on it too, seeing your progress.
Yeah.
Now, one thing I have found, kids and adults alike, depending on who they are and where they are at in their healthy continuum,
Mhm.
is sometimes they will make it worse before they press more buttons and they amp up to see
Yeah.
if they can break you, because then they have the power.
Well, it's also dopamine hits for them.
Yes.
Like
Yeah,
there's
that's
a whole
true.
study on ADHD with like they say kids with ADHD, it's a dopamine hit for them to get in trouble because
Hmm.
it raises their dopamine levels.
Right.
So they are innately like, I know I normally get this reaction, where is it?
Yeah. And so they're going to make it worse.
Or not innately, but yeah.
Yeah. So, so yeah, it's really important to take responsibility for your own emotions and figure out your triggers, the buttons, and get them dismantled so that you can be the person that you want to be.
I think one of the things that can help if you have like if you're at this turning point with your spouse or your child or whoever, that is when they're doing the acting out thing,
Hmm.
having somebody that you can talk to, not just to share the tea with, but like to um be not be on your side either, but to be supporting you,
Hmm.
to tell you, man, you handled that really well.
Yeah.
I think having that like that reaffirming friend next to you to say, listen, I know it's hard. I know you're getting hit at all angles. I know it feels like these problems are never going to get better, but you're still trying. And I think that's amazing. There's someone there to encourage you through it will help
Oh, yes,
when they're
definitely.
fighting against you.
Right. And help in a healthy way.
Yeah, in a healthy way.
Like remind you, yeah, you did good at controlling your emotions and not saying that even though you really wanted to, rather than,
Yeah.
yeah,
Like,
you should have said that.
yeah.
Punch him out verbally. Yeah, definitely. One point I wanted to make is that just because your kid is feeling a negative emotion doesn't mean that you're not doing a good job. It's many times because you're actually doing the right thing.
Mm.
It's good for kids to learn to manage their emotions and realize that life isn't fair and things are not always going to be easy when they're living in your own home and they're children, and there are not big consequences to their actions.
Yeah.
It's good not to shield them from everything that comes their way so that they can learn to deal with life, really,
Yeah.
and learn how to regulate their emotions and, like, oh, yes, I went through that when I was in fifth grade or fourth grade and I got out of it and things got better. And now this is going on and reminding me of that. And this is how I dealt with it. And as a
Yeah.
parent, helping them to remember, you went through this and you got through it. You can do it again,
Yeah.
kind of a thing.
It's not easy to watch them struggle because you
No.
spend the whole first couple of years like they can't do anything for themselves. So I'm literally doing everything for them, or they need everything done for them.
Right.
And then you get to a point where you're like, yeah, they could do it, but it's so much easier for me to just handle it for
Right.
them.
But it's not in the
It
long term. And we
right.
do watch our kids struggle the first 2 years because we put them for tummy time
Yeah.
so they can learn to sit up and crawl and stuff, and they struggle to do that. It's letting them continue to not make it hard for them, but continue to help them through the struggle
yeah.
and the normal things that people go through. So that is our segment on learning to manage our emotions. We're going to
Mm-hmm.
be talking a lot about this in episodes because it there's a lot of things that we can do to help. We talked about coping mechanisms back in season 2.
Yeah.
Some of those help through this, and this is just going to be a regular part of our dialogue, so that people can get a handle on their emotions and have better relationships and more fulfilling lives.
Yeah. And next week we're going to be talking. We have a special Thanksgiving episode.
Yay!
We're really excited for that one. That one's going to be really good.
I love Thanksgiving. It's
So,
almost the holidays.
it is.
Yay!
So get your pumpkin pie out and put your YouTube or Spotify on while you're
Pecan pie.
watching. Or
Pecan pie. Let's get pecan pie out there.
Yeah, that sounds better. Don't get turkey. The tryptophan will make you fall asleep.
Well, have a great week. And remember, it can get better than this.
Bye.
Bye.